Ni Yongjun traveled to the world of Hong Kong integration and became the eldest son of the Ni family. Ni Yongjun activated the super chaebol system, creating a world.Class chaebol and becoming a century-old family. At the beginning, summoned the Death Attendant and set a small goal to sweep the entire underground world of Hong Kong Island. The Ni family is a family that involves various industries such as oil, arms, finance, heavy industry, technology, and entertainment, making people feel intimidated. Using Hong Kong Island as a springboard, sweeping the entire world. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Ni Kuen's Death and Crisis. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At 3 p.m. this afternoon, a murder occurred in a unit on Yua Street in Tsim Sha Tsui. The victim's name was Ni Kuen and he was 60 years old. If there are enthusiastic citizens who have witnessed the killer, please call the police hotline 999 in a prison cafeteria at 99 East Head Bay Road in Stanley. There is a TV hanging on the wall playing evening news when suddenly a sudden police incident is broadcasted. As soon as this police report was broadcasted, it attracted the attention of many prisoners in the cafeteria, who began to discuss it in whispers. Silence, silence. Don't you want to eat? If you don't want to eat, get back to prison. The prison guard guarding the prison cafeteria saw many inmates loudly talking and breaking the cafeteria rules. He took out his electric scooter and vigorously knocked on the table while shouting loudly. As soon as many prisoners heard the prison guards roar, they all stopped talking and continued eating quietly. But there were 2 middle-aged prisoners among them, and they continued to talk. The prison guard standing in front of the prison cafeteria gate ignored it and continued to guard expressionlessly. As soon as Ni Kuen died, the Ni family collapsed. Without Ni Kuen, the children of the Ni family may not be able to survive. Even the laundry detergent business is about to lose, and the 4 major families under his command will definitely turn against it. A middle-aged man with a tattoo on his left hand and his left foot lifted and stepped on a nearby chair, eating while speaking to the prisoner across from him. Gueligia, should we kill Ni Yongjun, the eldest son of the Ni family diagonally opposite? Anyway, he's going to be released from prison tomorrow and will be killed by the 4 major families' subordinates. It's better for us to kill him, and we can even change our surrender. With this petition, we can still buy laundry detergent from the 4 major families when we are released from prison. The prisoner on the opposite side turned his eyes and suggested to Giligi with a smile. Bu Huai is the white paper fan of hexing society, with an exceptionally agile mind. After finishing his meal, I will send Ni Yongjun on the road to accompany his old bean in singing. Gueligia couldn't help but speak louder when he heard the proposal from the prisoner across from him. The sound was loud and was heard by the foolish little mule sitting at the next table. This foolish little mule stretched out his head and looked nervously at Giligi. What do you hope for? Stupid and strong. No wilderness, no wilderness. Upon hearing Gueligia's scolding, Silly Chang quickly apologized, then picked up the plate and turned around to leave. Zhengyi is a fool. Gueligia saw that Silly Chang was scared away, so he cursed and continued eating. Silly Chang took the plate and circled around, passing by the secluded dining table. He whispered to the handsome young man sitting there in a daze. June, Gueligia wants to kill you after finishing his meal. After whispering these words, Silly Chang quickly left with his plate in hand. After hearing Silly Chang's reminder, Ni Yongjun raised his head expressionlessly, glanced at Silly Chang's hurried back, and then fell back into deep thought. He traveled across the world and became the eldest son of the Ni family. His cheap old bean Ni Kuen, in his old age, began to plan for the Ni family and entrusted the laundry detergent business to the 4 major families. He hid behind the scenes alone, attempting to leave a way for the Ni family. He often says, if you come out, you'll have to pay it back sooner or later. I really paid it back now. So no matter how hard you try to hide, it's useless. Now others are still trying to kill the eldest son of the Ni family. You can't protect the Ni family, I'll protect it. If you want the Ni family to spread its branches and become the first family, I will help you complete it. Old Bean, keep going and I'll avenge you. Ni Yongjun silently swore in his heart. Subsequently, the remaining original soul in his body was officially released. Transformed into a faint smoke, disappearing into the prison cafeteria instantly. There is enough time for meals. Now, please all prisoners stand up, pick up their plates, and queue up one by one to leave. The prison guard guarding the entrance of the prison cafeteria lifted his head and glanced at the big clock hanging on the wall, seeing that time had arrived. He picked up the electric scooter and vigorously tapped the table in front of him, then shouted loudly. Subsequently, other prisoners who had not finished their meal heard this and had to stop their chopsticks, stand up with their plates, and prepare to queue up to leave. Outside the cafeteria gate, Silly Chong poked out a head and a half, nervously watching Ni Yongjun queue up and walk out. Later, he saw Giliji at the end of the queue with a sharp gaze. He quickly withdrew his head and disappeared outside the cafeteria gate. Poker the street. Silly Chong seems to have heard what I said. I have to do everything I didn't do this time. Tell me to take action directly later. Giliji angrily turned his head and said to the prisoner behind him. The prisoner behind him nodded and then conveyed it to the back. A killing plot against Ni Yongjun gradually formed, waiting to queue up and return to the prison warehouse to take action. Chapter 2. Super Wealth System, rewarding beginners with great gifts. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Stand still, look back, okay. Watching the prison guards lining up, when he saw Silly Chong turning his head to look at him with a worried expression, he pulled it out and hit Silly Chong, shouting while fighting. The clumsy and painful blow made him shrink his body, quickly lifting his right hand to stroke the beaten area, and then following the prisoner in front of him. Ni Yongjun, who was in the middle of the queue, saw the worried eyes of Silly Chong. He knew that when he returned to the warehouse, Giliji and his subordinates would take action against him. So he can only adjust the warehouse and cannot share the same warehouse with Giliji. This way, Giliji cannot kill him. And if Giliji doesn't take action tonight, he can be released from prison and leave tomorrow. How to adjust the warehouse. Standing in front of him is the captain of the prison guard, who belongs to the Ni family. This year, he was imprisoned for so long, thanks entirely to the protection of this prison guard captain. The Ni family also returned some small business to the family members of the prison guard captain. So just talk to him about the tone chamber. Jyoga, I have something to tell you. Ni Yongjun walked forward with the team, and as he passed by the captain of the prison guard standing there looking at the team, he stretched his head and said to the captain. Usually he is called Josie, but now his life is in danger, so he respectfully calls him Jyoga. You should know how glorious it is for him to be the eldest son of the Ni family and respectfully call others brother. Xiao Jun, wait in line first and we'll talk tomorrow. As soon as the prison guard captain heard Ni Yongjun call him, he said with a smirk on his face. I can't do it tomorrow. I need to adjust my position. If I don't adjust my position, I'll be dead. Ni Yongjun was stunned when he heard that the captain of the prison guard who usually called him Yunga was now calling him Xiao Jun. But he's not good at getting angry now, his life is in danger, so he quickly said. Xiao Jun, it's normal to bump in prison. Please be understanding and understanding. The captain of the prison guard continued to speak without a smile, pushing Ni Yongjun forward. Ni Yongjun walked and turned to look at the unfamiliar prison guard captain. He has truly experienced what it means to walk away and enjoy the coolness of tea. When Lao Do was around before, he was the eldest son of the Ni family. Now that the old bean is gone, he is nothing. Not only him, but also the Ni family. June, I contacted the other people in the warehouse and they promised to help you with this number. Silly Chong saw that Ni Yongjun had returned to the warehouse, and he immediately walked over and compared his hands to Ni Yongjun, saying, "Okay, thank you for being silly." Ni Yongjun, who had always been nervous, breathed a sigh of relief when he heard Silly Chang say this and agreed. 500,000, it's worth buying a life. When Silly Chang heard Ni Yongjun agree, he quickly turned around and walked towards the 5 prisoners sitting in the warehouse. The 5 inmates from other clubs nodded at Ni Yongjun standing at the entrance of the warehouse while listening to Silly Chang's words. After Ni Yongjun saw that Silly Chang had agreed, he walked over with a smile and sat back in his bed. "Silly Chang, what are you doing sneakily? Are you trying to harm me?" Gue Lijie returned to the warehouse with 6 subordinates. As soon as he entered, he arrogantly asked the Silly Chang standing there talking. His several subordinates also gathered around, one of whom was lying at the warehouse door, looking out for the wind. "Brother Gue, it's okay. I'm asking someone to borrow money." Upon hearing Gue Lijie's words, Silly Chang was so frightened that he quickly turned around and explained. "Borrow money without asking me. Surprisingly, I'll charge you high interest, right?" Giliji went over and grabbed the collar of Silly Chang's clothes, then looked around at the 5 prisoners and said. "Can I borrow 50, dear brother? Would it be convenient for you? Yunga guarantees to me that he will transfer the money to your account tomorrow when he goes out." Silly looking at Giliji's hand grabbing his collar, he forced a smile and said to Giliji. "Yunga. When Ni Kun was here before, he was still Yunga. Now that Ni Kun is dead, he doesn't even say, ba. Can you help him? If you don't help, just stand over and be careful not to let blood stick to your body." Gue Lijie looked at the 5 prisoners with a gloomy gaze, and he said with a wicked smile. The 5 prisoners hesitated when they heard Gue Lijie say so. Because Ni Yongjun can definitely give money, but now it's unclear whether he can live until tomorrow. And it seems that Gue Lijie really wants Ni Yongjun's life. For the sake of this 500,000 yuan, it doesn't seem worth offending in revitalizing the society. Because Ni Kun is not leftist, then the Ni family is nothing. So, these 5 prisoners hesitated for a moment, stood up, walked behind Giliji, and stood up. "It's really inhumane of you to help fight the street." When Silly Chang saw these 5 prisoners turning against him, he struggled to grab Gue Lijie's hand and then retreated to Ni Yongjun, protecting him while cursing angrily. "Ding, the super chaebol system is being bound. Ding, the super chaebol system has been successfully bound. Ding, reward beginners with a big gift pack." Suddenly, a cold system sound came to Ni Yongjun's mind, and he froze. The system may be delayed, but it must arrive. As a traveler, how could he not have a system? Ni Yongjun looked at Giliji not far away with an evil smile on his face. Chapter 3. Repayment of Father's Debt and Son, Death Attendants Counterattack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ni Yongjun is constantly receiving a large amount of information that comes to his mind. The ultimate task of this super chaebol system is to make the Ni family a world.class family, such as the Morgan family, the world's creditors, and for every task completed, you receive gold coins. The function of gold coins is to exchange various skills, items, and death attendants in the system. Ni Yongjun clicked on the instructions of the death attendant to take a look. The name, Death Attendant, comes from his role as a guard, allowing him to die for his master, which refers to the most loyal guard. The higher the family level, the larger the scale of dead attendants they have, and the higher the level of dead attendants. Ni Yongjun saw in the system warehouse that he had 10 ordinary death attendant souls, which were rewarded by the newbie gift package. He clicked and saw a pop-up explanation framework. You can designate any ordinary person within 5 meters to become the master's death attendant, and control the death attendant to do anything in your mind. This means that it can make Silly Chang his death attendant, and it is the kind that can send him to death. But Silly Chang doesn't need to use this because he is already very loyal. Ni Yongjun continued to click on the personal panel to see what else the newbie gift package would reward. Host, Ni Yongjun Power. Ni Family, 5th Class Family, Gold Coins. 1000 Gold Coins Abilities. Gunmanship, Beginner, Comprehensive Fighting, Proficient, Hongchuan, Advanced. The beginner gift pack is really impressive, and it also rewards 1000 gold coins and 3 martial arts skills. Now he can have the ability to protect himself. Will not get injured in small-scale fights. Subsequently, Ni Yongjun clicked on the taskbar to view. Final task. Transform the Ni family into the SSSSS family, capable of controlling the world. Task 1. Become the head of the Ni family and reward 1000 gold coins. Task 2. Revenge your father, kill all the killers who killed your father, reward 5000 gold coins. Good, good. Completing a task will earn him gold coins. With gold coins, he can exchange various skills, props, and death attendants. Human nature. As Ni Kun once said, when you leave, you'll have to pay it back sooner or later. Father repays his son's debt. Have you ever heard of silly Chong? Silly Chong, this matter doesn't concern you. You can handle it, I'll just pretend you're not involved. Gue Ligia looked at the foolish Chong blocking in front of Ni Yongjun and continued to advise. Because fighting with a fool, you have no idea how he will fight. If a fool goes crazy, everyone will be afraid. So it's better to persuade him to leave, so that we can kill Ni Yongjun. Father repays son's debt. My father seems to have no grudges with you, otherwise you wouldn't have brought it up just now. Ni Yongjun gently pushed silly Chong away, and he walked forward, looking at Gue Ligia curiously and asking. He has been in the same warehouse with Gue Ligia for so long, and he didn't realize that his emotions were not right. He is usually courteous to him and has repeatedly hinted that he wants to connect with the Ni family and buy laundry detergent. So now with a sudden reversal of face, what exactly is it for? Do we have to have grudges and grudges? Those who come out of our land can kill anyone with any benefits. Gue Ligia gestured for his 5 subordinates to surround him and prepare to take action against Ni Yongjun while speaking. Because Ni Yongjun, the foolish guy, pushed away the foolish strong in front of him, the opportunity was rare. Once Ni Yongjun is killed, it will be meaningless for silly Chong to continue blocking. Giliji, what are you doing? If you get any closer, I'll call the prison guard. Silly Chong saw Gue Ligia's henchmen showing their sharpened toothbrushes or chopsticks, and nervously stood in front of Ni Yongjun as he spoke. Hands on. Gue Ligia saw that silly Chong refused to change his character, so he let him die with Ni Yongjun, so he fiercely ordered his subordinates. Prisoner, help me. Giliji is going to kill someone. After seeing Gue Ligia instructing his subordinates to take action, silly Chong panicked and waved his hands in an attempt to stop him, shouting in fear for the prison guards to come and help. But at this moment, the 5 subordinates of Giliji suddenly stopped their leg movements, and then they all turned around, looking at Giliji with fierce eyes. What are you doing? Giliji's heart trembled and jumped when he saw the scene of his subordinates, but he pretended to be calm and asked. Just as he finished asking, another subordinate who was watching the wind at the entrance of the warehouse suddenly turned around and rushed towards Giliji. Taking advantage of Giliji's unpreparedness, he wrapped his hands around Giliji. The other 5 subordinates rushed forward and picked up sharp toothbrushes or chopsticks to stab Giliji. You helped to fight the street. Gue Ligia's chest was stabbed more than 10 times by 5 subordinates in just a few seconds, and he cursed in pain. Subsequently, his body couldn't hold up due to pain, and as he was about to collapse, he looked towards Ni Yongjun. At this glance, he was stunned. Because he saw Ni Yongjun standing there calmly, with an evil smile on his lips. Did his subordinates rebel because of Ni Yongjun? If Ni Yongjun had this ability, he would be another Ni Kun. No, he is more terrifying than Ni Kun. Because Ni Yongjun was able to make his 6 loyal subordinates rebel, and it happened under his nose. This ability is too terrifying. Chapter 4. Ni Yongjun, you can now be released from prison. You are listening at novel full.audio. Silly Chang saw 6 subordinates of Giliji continuing to stab him forward. Even if Gue Ligia fell to the ground, these 6 hands continued to poke, as if they were going to keep poking. This terrifying scene scared and forcefully pushed Ni Yongjun back. I want to push Ni Yongjun to the wall so that he can more easily block the attack of the 6 subordinates of Giliji. But Silly Chang was on guard for a long time, and did not see Gue Lijia's 6 subordinates coming to attack, but waited for the delayed arrival of the prison guards. Duba, all squat down. As soon as the prison guards approached, they saw this terrifying scene. They opened the door, picked up electric scooters, and whipped 6 of Giliji's subordinates. After a beating, Giliji's 6 subordinates were all knocked down to the ground. At this moment, several prison guards separated and revealed the hallway. The captain of the prison guard named Jioga walked in calmly. When he saw the messy Gue Ligia being stabbed on the ground, he was so shocked that his mouth opened wide. Subsequently, the captain of the prison guard looked up in disbelief and asked Ni Yongjun, who was standing calmly against the wall. Ni Yongjun, did you do it? Oh, be your mother. When Ni Yongjun heard the captain of the prison guard's question, he showed an evil smile and cursed back. Pup your street, Ni Yongjun, do you dare to scold me? The captain of the prison guard heard Ni Yongjun scolding him, and he asked in anger and embarrassment. It seems like I can't believe that Ni Yongjun still dares to scold him, because now Ni Yongjun is nothing he actually dares to curse at himself. Do you really think he's still the same Ni Yongjun as before? Josie, it's not your fault that Yunga scolded you. You have no eyes. The killer is crouching there, you're asking me what I did, what do you mean? Do you think I have the ability to do it? Or do you think I was the one who was stabbed? Ni Yongjun calmly looked at the captain of the prison guard and asked with a sneer on his face. Jun, your mother and brother, do you think you're still the same Ni Yongjun you used to be? Isn't it because you requested to adjust the warehouse before? It's said to be life-threatening. Now that Gue Ligia has been stabbed down by his subordinates, did you bribe him with money? You must have bribed Gue Ligia's subordinates with money. The captain of the prison guard pointed at Ni Yongjun while speaking confidently. Ni Yongjun looked at the prison guard captain who was forcefully speaking, squinting his eyes with an evil smile as he looked at the dying prison guard captain. Suddenly, the 6 subordinates of Giliji who were originally obediently squatting on the ground. They suddenly erupted, picked up the sharpened toothbrush or chopsticks that had fallen to the ground, and rushed towards the captain of the prison guard. Damn it, squat down, all squat down. The prison guards saw that Gue Ligia's 6 subordinates were not ordered to stab the captain of the prison guards, so they all took out electric scoops and started beating. But these 6 subordinates of Gue Ligia continued to poke as if unaware of the pain. So, a melee formed at the entrance of the warehouse. Yunga. Silly Chang, who was guarding Ni Yongjun's side, watched this incredible scene. He swallowed his saliva and turned back timidly to ask for instructions from Ni Yongjun. Because he doesn't know what to do now, he's struggling to figure out what's going on. Later, 6 of Giliji's subordinates killed Giliji. After a while, Giliji's 6 subordinates squatted quietly on the ground and suddenly killed the captain of the prison guard. I dare not shoot this movie like this. Because it's too unbelievable. Giliji once said, it's none of your business, stay quiet. Ni Yongjun gave instructions to the foolish Chang who didn't know what to do. Got it, Yunga. Upon receiving instructions from Ni Yongjun, Silly Chang, who was originally at a loss, seemed to have a backbone and turned his head firmly to guard in front of Ni Yongjun. This farce was quickly quelled by the continuous influx of prison guards. After pacification, they dragged the body of the prison guard captain away. After the warden learned about this, he repeatedly asked all the prison guards and also asked the prisoners in the nearby large warehouse. After thinking for a while, he finally said weakly to the captain of the prison guard. "Release Ni Yongjun." "Prison warden, it seems that Ni Yongjun will only be released from prison tomorrow." After hearing the warden's words, the captain of the prison guard hesitated for a moment and reminded him. "Now let Ni Yongjun go." This was done by Ni Yongjun. "It seems that I underestimated the Ni family. There are still 3 pounds of nails on the rotten boat, so don't let him use his final counterattack in prison." The warden repeated the order and then explained to the captain of the prison guard. He doesn't want to bear the final madness of the Ni family. The warden is considering it right. After hearing the prison warden's explanation, the captain of the prison guard nodded timidly and agreed. Subsequently, the prison guard who received the order opened the gate of the large warehouse and said to Ni Yongjun. "Ni Yongjun, you can be released from prison now. Don't wait for tomorrow." After hearing this, Ni Yongjun smiled wickedly and asked. The warden said, "Your elder has passed away, and you are allowed to be released half a day early." The prison guard waved his hand to signal Ni Yongjun to hurry up while speaking. "Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers." Chapter 5. A family eating a reunion meal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. June, congratulations on being released from prison. Upon hearing the prison guard's words, Silly Chong congratulated Ni Yongjun with a joyful expression on his face. "Silly Chong, wait for me to go out and be released on bail with you." Ni Yongjun turned around and said a word to Silly Chong, then followed the prison guard towards the prison gate. After passing several levels, Ni Yongjun grabbed his belongings, changed into the clothes he had just entered, put on his watch, and jumped out of the prison gate. As soon as he walked, the prison gate quickly closed, as if afraid of him coming in again. Ni Yongjun was unable to laugh or cry outside the prison gate. He turned his head and glanced at the prison gate, then scanned the environment outside the prison. There was not even a single person around outside the prison, so there were no enemies ambushing him. Maybe I didn't know he was released early from prison. If there is an enemy, he still has 4 Death Attendant souls to use, so that they can see what terror is. And now he is not the same as Ni Yongjun before. He is at the advanced level of Hongchuan, and you should know that Hongchuan is the leader of Southern boxing. Hongchuan is strong and powerful, with a wide opening and closing, emphasizing the explosive power and fast speed. Because Hongchuan is very suitable for fighting and is easy to learn, it becomes more and more widely spread. Hongchuan is practiced in both the south and abroad. "Sir, do you want to take a ride?" Just as Ni Yongjun was observing, a red taxi drove over and the driver rolled down the car window to ask Ni Yongjun. "Go to Nathan Road in Tsim Sha Tsui." Ni Yongjun sat in the passenger seat and instructed the driver to drive towards this place. After hearing the location, the driver quickly started the taxi and drove towards Tsim Sha Tsui. An hour later, the taxi stopped at Nathan Road in Tsim Sha Tsui. Ni Yongjun got off the car and looked at the familiar and unfamiliar street view. He walked in and walked along the road towards the Ni family villa. Yongjun. A 50-year-old man who was about to leave the villa raised his triangular eyes and looked at Ni Yongjun hesitantly, shouting. "Third uncle." Ni Yongjun greeted the elderly Ni family with a smile on his face. "It's really you. I planned to pick you up tomorrow, but who knew you were released early? It's better to be released early than to be ambushed." After seeing Ni Yongjun confirm, Uncle San walked over with joy and hugged Ni Yongjun, saying. The people in the villa heard the noise at the door and walked out to check. Big brother. Ni Yongxiao, wearing golden glasses and a 7-cent comb, hurriedly walked over and looked at Ni Yongjun, saying. "Just come out, come out. From now on, the Ni family can only rely on you two brothers to oversee the overall situation. Uncle San looked at Ni Yongjun and Ni Yongxiao holding each other with moist eyes, and he said with emotion. Thank you for your hard work, Yongxiao. Ni Yongjun looked at Ni Yongxiao, who looked elegant and refined, and asked him to handle the affairs of the club, which was really difficult for him. Family, I didn't say that. Come in and have a family reunion dinner. Ni Yongxiao pulled Ni Yongjun towards the villa and comforted him as he spoke. The next day, a Santana car arrived at the entrance of Stanley Prison early in the morning. A few short mules looked at the prison gate while checking their pistols, as if they were about to ambush someone. And there are also 2 motorcycles near the prison, each with a man wearing a helmet, waiting for orders. Once given the command, they will quickly come over and then draw their guns and shoot angrily. One bright and one dark, seamlessly seamless. No matter how well the plan is, we can't wait for someone to come out. The man sitting in the passenger seat of the Santana car became impatient and took out his phone to make a call. Hey, black brother, after waiting for a long time, Ni Yongjun just didn't come out. Is he released from prison today? As soon as his phone rang, he quickly said that he wanted to confirm the correct time for Ni Yongjun's release from prison again. Up your street, Ni Yongjun came out last night. The news has only just come through now. Come back, tell the gunman to rest and wait for the next opportunity. The angry voice of the Black Ghost came from the phone. As one of the 4 major families, the Black Ghost was surprised by Ni Yongjun's early release from prison, and his secretly prepared ambush plan had failed. I don't know when I'll have such an opportunity again. Black guy, it's very expensive to hire a gunman. Why don't you ask them to wait at the entrance of Ni's villa? The nigger's henchman in the passenger seat looked at the 2 motorcycle men not far away with heartache, and he suggested. Are you stupid? At the Ni family villa, Uncle San's men and horses are guarding there. Isn't it like falling into a trap? If the Ni family finds out that the gunman was hired by me, will they be the first to take me out? Do you think Guohua, Gandhi, and Wenzheng will protect me? You're so foolish, come back to me. The nigger on the phone was cursing at this foolish subordinate. Got it, nigger, I'm leaving now. The black guy in the passenger seat, after finishing speaking, hung up his phone, opened the car door, got out of the car, and gestured to the motorcycle man not far away. Subsequently, 2 motorcycles followed the Santana car and left the gate of Stanley Prison, disappearing into the traffic on the main road. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers. Chapter 6. Becoming the master of the Ni family, rewarding 1,000 gold coins. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Come on, big brother, have a drink. The next noon, as soon as Ni Yongjun walked out of his room, Ni Yongxiao came out and took him to the dining room to start drinking again. Don't drink, Yongxiao. Yongjun has just returned and there are still many things waiting for him to do in the club. Uncle San saw that Ni Yongxiao suddenly started drinking well, so he frowned and advised. Because he had always known that Ni Yongxiao was not a good drinker, the reason for this now may be because Ni Yongjun has returned. Does the Ni family also have a dispute over family owners? It's not good to divide the family property just after the big shot died. Uncle San, the club has me. Big brother has been suffering for so long, he should enjoy it. Ni Yongxiao refused to listen to Uncle San's advice and insisted on taking Ni Yongjun to the dining room to drink. Ni Yongjun looked at his younger brother with a smile as he tried to learn from society. He followed over with a smile on his face. After clinking a cup with Ni Yongxiao, Ni Yongjun said to him while eating beef. Yongxiao, Lao Do sent you to study, and you are also quite promising. You will be admitted to the University of Hong Kong and graduate smoothly, with a bright future ahead of you. Why step into the club to fight and kill? Big brother, I can't turn back. This year, Lao Do went to sing all day, and I was in charge of the club. Also, I must help Lao Do seek revenge. Ni Yongxiao looked at Ni Yongjun and said, lifting his glass to drink. Yongxiao, your older brother has been in charge of the club for 3 years, and the boss is also quite confident, so you can go to the financial company that the boss opened for you. I really need you there. As you know, I don't have a high level of education and can't manage such a cultured company. Uncle San saw that Ni Yongxiao insisted on hosting the club, so he put a piece of beef into Ni Yongxiao's bowl and advised him to drink less alcohol and eat more meat. Because the Ni family in Sim Sha Sui is not just a club, Ni Kun has been running many companies while whitewashing in recent years. So there's no need for Ni Yongxiao to argue, he can definitely take over these companies. Because of these companies, neither he nor Ni Yongjun can manage them. Only Ni Yongxiao with golden glasses can manage it. When Ni Yongxiao heard third uncle say this, he also put down his glass and fell silent. He's not trying to argue for anything. As a high-achieving student at the University of Hong Kong, how could he possibly value these clubs? He is just because the club has been in turmoil recently, and if it is not handled well, the club will retaliate, causing casualties among the Ni family. Due to Lao Do's decentralization in recent years, the club has been handed over to the 4 major families and the second-in-command Han Chen for management, so it caused the 4 major families to have excessive power, and the second leader of the club, Han Chen, was highly respected. This year, when his elder brother was imprisoned, he managed everything like walking on thin ice. The 4 major families were disobedient, and Han Chen kept a hidden sword in his smile. What if suddenly changing Big Brother goes up, will it cause another disturbance in the club? I already know how to kill the old bean. Ni Yongjun said expressionlessly when he saw Ni Yongxiao mention avenging Lao Do. He is a traveler, can you still not know? Who is that? I'll kill him now. Upon hearing this, Uncle San stood up angrily and looked at Ni Yongjun. He only waited for his command before running out and killing him with his men and horses. Ni Yongxiao fell silent again when he saw the third uncle's words just like his elder brother's. He should really not be as good as Big Brother. In the past year, Uncle San has never immediately executed a sentence because of him, it was all about asking why. I can't move now. Don't worry, do things step by step, eat every bite of rice. Ni Yongjun waved to third uncle, gesturing for him to sit down and have some food. I trust you. Upon seeing Ni Yongjun say this, Uncle San replied and sat down, picked up his glass and drank it down. Big brother, you've said that. You can sit in the position of the head of the family. Ni Yongxiao raised his glass and looked at Ni Yongjun, saying. A family's unity is strength. Here, let's toast. Uncle San saw Ni Yongxiao let go of his persistence in his heart. He said with satisfaction, poured good wine, and then lifted it up. Don't worry, I will lead the Ni family towards glory. Ni Yongjun picked up his wine glass with a smile on his face, clinked glasses with Ni Yongxiao and his third uncle one by one, and then drank it down. Ding, complete the task of becoming the head of the Ni family, reward 1,000 gold coins. Ding, congratulations to the master for completing the first task. Reward 100 ordinary Death Attendant souls, which will be placed in the system warehouse. Please check. Ni Yongjun was pleasantly surprised to hear the sound of the system. He clicked in to take a look and was truly overjoyed. There was even a Death Attendant reward. You should know that this Death Attendant summoning is really a bug. He can manipulate the Death Attendant to do anything. For example, 6 subordinates of Gilaji killed Gilaji and the captain of the prison guard in rebellion. Who could have imagined this kind of rebellion? If you hesitate, then give the Death Attendant a chance. And without his intervention, the enemy would have been killed. Perfectly avoiding the police's hurdle. Moreover, there are not only ordinary Death Attendant souls, but also elite Death Attendant souls and Lord Death Attendant souls when viewed in the system wall. He longed for the day when he could summon the soul of the Death Attendant of SSSSS. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers. You are right in Chapter 7, it is that Yongxiao did not consider enough. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After drinking for a while, Uncle Ni Yongjun and Uncle Ni Yongxiao put down their glasses. Ni Yongxiao and his third uncle saw it, and they also put down their glasses, waiting for Ni Yongjun, who had just become the head of the family, to speak. Uncle San, go and bring over the ledger. I'll take a look at the changes in the club this year. Ni Yongjun stood up and walked towards the living room, speaking to third uncle. I'll go get it now. After hearing this, Uncle San hurriedly ran out to get the club's ledger. Big brother, you need to check your account. Ni Yongxiao walked over and sat opposite Ni Yongjun. He asked curiously. Well, let's take a look at the development of the club this year. Are we supposed to hand in the numbers tomorrow? As Ni Yongjun spoke, he suddenly remembered something and turned his head to ask Ni Yongxiao. Yes, big brother. Tomorrow, the 4 major families will hand over their numbers. But there have been rumors that they may not be paying the bill anymore. Ni Yongxiao frowned and looked at Ni Yongjun, saying. Why didn't he just want to step down from the position of head of the family? That's why. The 4 major families can no longer suppress it. There are rumors that if they don't make a deal, they will rebel against the Ni family. And they have a large number of people, and they handle all the club affairs, so they have a big tail and can't hold it down anymore. Chen is okay, but he has always been a smiling tiger, who knows what he thinks in his heart. You should know that he is the second in command of the club, and once Lao Do dies, he becomes the biggest. Yongjun, the club's ledger. At this moment, Uncle San hurriedly walked in from outside and handed the ledger in his arms to Ni Yongjun. Ni Yongjun took it over and opened it to take a look. This year, the club's revenue was very single, with 90% coming from laundry detergent. What is the use of this kind of club? Ni Yongjun saw this and threw the ledger directly onto the coffee table. Big brother, is the number incorrect? Ni Yongxiao was also startled by Ni Yongjun's action, and then hesitated to ask Ni Yongjun. Yongjun, what's wrong? I'm coming over now with my men and horses to question. Uncle San saw Ni Yongxiao say this, and as soon as he sat down, he immediately stood up and angrily said. Sit down. From now on, the Ni family will no longer make laundry detergent. Ni Yongjun waved to third uncle, gesturing for him to sit down, and then said to Ni Yongxiao. Don't make laundry detergent. It's even more impossible for those 4 major families to cross ranks. As soon as Uncle San sat down, it was Ni Yongxiao's turn to stand up and question. You should know that the Ni family has always been making laundry detergent, which is why they were able to seize a piece of territory between the powerful Hexing Society and Zhongxi. You should know that Sim Sha Sui is the busiest area on Hong Kong Island, and winning a piece of land here is all thanks to laundry detergent. Now Big Brother suddenly says he wants to give up his laundry detergent business. Is the Ni family still the Ni family? Yongxiao, you have read many books. Have you heard of any family that grew up by selling laundry detergent? In history, which family could go far by selling laundry detergent? The answer is none. Ni Yongjun calmly looked at the angry Ni Yongxiao and said. Ni Yongjun's words directly extinguished Ni Yongxiao's anger, so he sat down in silence. Because Ni Yongjun is right, there is no history. That's why Lao Do retreated behind the scenes, whitewashed, and started a company. All of this is to enable the Ni family to go further. Ni Yongxiao raised his head and looked at Ni Yongjun again, as if he had met his elder brother again. This time, he was convinced that his elder brother should be the head of the family. He had thought about this issue before, but dared not speak up. But is the timing right to withdraw laundry detergent now? What industry will Ni's family pursue after exiting? Big brother, you're right. Yongxiao didn't think much about it. Excuse me, big brother. Which industry should the Ni family develop into next? Ni Yongxiao looked at Ni Yongjun and asked curiously. He knew that once the big brother said it, he must have an idea, otherwise the big brother wouldn't have said it. Just like how big brother knew who would kill old Bean, but the timing was wrong, so he didn't move. Go back to your old profession. Ni Yongjun looked at Ni Yongxiao and gently replied. Gambling stalls. Before Ni Yongxiao could react, the third uncle next to him quickly answered. I can't afford to raise people by doing this, can I? After hearing what third uncle said, Ni Yongxiao saw that Ni Yongjun did not object and knew he was right. After thinking for a moment, he looked at Ni Yongjun and asked. The three most profitable industries, laundry detergent definitely won't do it, so the only way is to open a gambling stall. Don't worry, it won't be the same as before. We are people of the new era, of course we need to keep up with the times. As for the issue of the four major families' non-payment, I will solve them. Ni Yongjun looked at Ni Yongxiao confidently and said. Because next, he needs to solve the four major families first. Without solving them, the club will not be stable. Get rid of them and arrange for the Death Attendants to take over, so that the club will immediately listen to him. His 104 lifeguard souls are all arranged among the members of the club. In this way, he immediately mastered the entire club. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers. Chapter 8. Smiling Tiger Han Chen. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Big brother, keep up with the times. May I ask what kind of keeping up with the times is? I have also considered this issue before. But there are already hundreds of gambling stalls in Sim Sha Sui, so there is more competition and less profit. Ni Yongxiao pondered for a while, but still couldn't figure out the development prospects of this gambling stall proposed by his elder brother, so he asked again. Yongxiao, when you go and buy an electronics factory, I want to make an iPhone. Ni Yongjun did not answer Ni Yongxiao's question. He wanted facts to illustrate the potential of gambling. You should know that the king of gamblers in Oman grew up through casinos and will not be hit. Because under Hong Kong Island law, gambling is a legitimate industry, not an illegal one. And he will become the new generation of gambling king on Hong Kong Island. How to do it? It definitely relies on the Apple machine to do it. Apple phone. Upon hearing this novel name, Ni Yongxiao curiously asked Ni Yongjun. Yes, the iPhone is an electronic gambling machine. After the coin is inserted, it starts to rotate, and whatever it rotates, it gets the same multiplier. And there's a chance to turn a cannon into a jackpot. Ni Yongjun would like to briefly explain the gameplay of Apple phones. That sounds really good. Do you know how to do it? After hearing Ni Yongjun's words, Ni Yongxiao replied with great interest. Because what Big Brother is talking about is probability. This kind of probability is very addictive. The blackjack on playing cards is this kind of probability. If implemented on an electronic device, it is really possible to create a new generation of gambling files. Don't worry, I know someone inside who can do it. By the way, Uncle San, go to prison and bail someone out. That person's name is Stupid Strong. Ni Yongjun casually responded. Later, he remembered Silly Chong, so he asked his third uncle to go to prison to bail Silly Chong. Got it, Big Brother. Ni Yongxiao looked at Ni Yongjun with suspicion while believing. He didn't believe anyone in prison could have this technology, but he still believed in his older brother, so he stood up and went out to buy an electronics factory. Ni Yongjun saw Ni Yongxiao's gaze. He knew that Ni Yongxiao didn't believe him, because Ni Yongxiao was a top student and not easily fooled. But he cannot say that he can exchange the method of making an iPhone in the system mall. So let the facts speak. Ni Yongjun thought to himself and clicked on the system mall to exchange for the method of making an iPhone. Ding, exchanged for the method of making an iPhone and spent 500 gold coins. The system prompt sound made Ni Yongjun smile confidently. This iPhone can always maintain its production method, so most people cannot crack it. So not only can we open electronic gambling files, but we can also recruit agents to sell machines. In this way, his Apple can quickly gather a large amount of funds. With this batch of funds, he can turn money into money, increase his bets again, acquire shares in the TV station, and then live stream the lottery draw. Just as Ni Yongjun was pondering, a male voice sounded outside the door of the Ni family villa. "Young master, just come out. I drove to pick you up early today, but who knew you came out last night? Just come out early, just come out early." A short and chubby man walked in from outside the door of Ni's villa, and as he walked, he looked at Ni Yongjun with a pleased smile. Ni Yongjun looked at this short and chubby man, with 1 inch of hair, making him look very energetic. A skin smile and flesh smile kept his face amiable. But he knew that these were just Han Chen's protective colors, and the real Han Chen was the protagonist of the first and second episodes of Infernal Affairs. So after killing the 4 major families, he will kill Han Chen. Because his wife Mary instructed someone to kill his old bean. His wife Mary thought that as long as she killed Ni Kuan, her man Han Chen could rise to power and become a messenger. But she was wrong. The Ni family is different from other clubs. The Ni family is managed in a family style, so he is the one who talks. He not only wants to kill Ni Kuan and his wife Mary, but also the killer. To kill another person even more, that person is Mary's lover Huang Jicheng. One of the male protagonists of Infernal Affairs 2, Officer Huang Jicheng. But this person needs to stay until the end before they can take action. After Ni Yongjun thought it through, he lifted his head and looked at Ni Kuan as he walked in. He smiled and asked. "Han Chen, I heard you're going to be a messenger." "De Xiao, stop joking, you know I am the most loyal person." Upon hearing Ni Yongjun's words, Han Chen immediately waved his hand and explained. "No, it's good. You know, the club I trust the most is you." After hearing Han Chen's explanation, Ni Yongjun stood up and smiled as he spoke. "De Xiao, where are you going?" Han Chen saw Ni Yongjun standing up to go out, and he followed closely. He asked as he followed. "I'm definitely going wild. I just came out and wanted to do something." Ni Yongjun picked up a box and said as he walked. "De Xiao is De Xiao, really hard-working. Let's take me along." Han Chen followed closely while burying a smile and praising Ni Yongjun. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers. Chapter 9. Is due tomorrow. You are listening at novel.Feilu. At night, Ni Yongjun led Han Chen on a tour of the Chehe River. Tiger-headed running is particularly unique among the numerous traffic streams. The scenery on both sides of the road is even more nostalgic and unforgettable. But Han Chen couldn't see these landscapes. He looked around and at Ni Yongjun beside him. Then, after thinking for a moment, he buried a smile and asked. "De Xiao, where are you going? You know that I am the most loyal person, and I can't even say that, right? I'm hungry, go eat noodles." Ni Yongjun did not answer and instructed the driver. After hearing this, the driver turned the front of the car and drove in one direction. In no time, the tiger headed towards a remote small noodle stall. After getting off the car, Han Chen kept looking around and didn't quite believe that Ni Yongjun really came here to eat noodles. Because this place is too remote, there isn't even one more person. Ni Yongjun walked over, pulled out a chair from the small stall, and sat down, then looked at the opposite stall and asked Han Chen, who was looking left and right. Do you know which stall is on the other side? Gambling stalls. In the past, when the big shots were around, they often came over to eat a bowl of chetzi noodles after finishing the wild. After hearing Ni Yongjun's question, Han Chen carefully looked at the stall across from him. Later, he remembered and turned his head in nostalgia to say to Ni Yongjun. In the past, Lao Do relied on this small gambling stall to make a fortune with a few wealthy players. Han Chen, starting from today, I won't make laundry detergent. Ni Yongjun looked at the stall across from him, recalling as he spoke. Xiao, I have to submit the numbers tomorrow. If you don't make laundry detergent, those 4 guys may not be paying the bill. Han Chen looked at Ni Yongjun's serious expression, and he remained silent for a while before earnestly persuading. And you? Ni Yongjun didn't answer, he turned his head to look at Han Chen and asked in reverse. Me. I'm definitely standing on your side. Upon hearing Ni Yongjun's counter-question, Han Chen was momentarily stunned before burying a smile and answering. With your words, that's enough. When Ni Yongjun heard Han Chen say these words, he smiled and replied. Then he summoned the boss and asked everyone for a bowl of chetzi noodles. The owner of the small noodle stall quickly cooked and served the car noodles. Ni Yongjun took the chetzi noodles and picked up chopsticks to eat them in large gulps. Xiao, you don't want to get rid of those 4 guys, do you? Han Chen looked at the chetzi noodles on the table. He didn't choose to eat them, but looked at Ni Yongjun. Seeing Ni Yongjun eating noodles so seriously, he hesitated and asked. If they don't pay the bill tomorrow, they'll kill. Ni Yongjun raised his head and said expressionlessly as he ate chetzi noodles at Han Chen. Later, he lowered himself and continued to eat chetzi noodles, then waved his hand and said. Let's eat noodles now. Okay. Upon hearing Ni Yongjun's words, Han Chen fell silent for a while before burying a smile and responding. After speaking, Han Chen picked up his chopsticks and ate the chetzi noodles in large gulps. In no time, everyone finished their chetzi noodles. At this moment, Ni Yongjun picked up his teacup and stood up, facing the opposite stall. He lifted his teacup and threw it to the ground, then drank the remaining tea. Everyone was the same, following Ni Yongjun in this gesture of paying tribute to the previous person. After drinking, Ni Yongjun lowered his head and raised the teacup above his head. Before everyone could put down their teacups, 2 cars rushed over and stopped in front of the small stall door. Huang Ziqing led 2 police teams over and proudly walked, picking up his identification documents and hanging them on his chest. Ni Sheng, are you so interested in eating chetzi noodles? Huang Ziqing walked to Ni Yongjun's table and opened the file package that Ni Yongjun was holding while speaking. He originally looked proud, but when he opened the file package and looked at it, it turned into a determined and heavy expression. Because the file package only contains a few magazines. Due to an intelligence error, Huang Ziqing humbly closed Ni Yongjun's file package. Ni Yongjun looked at Huang Ziqing's guilty expression, but he didn't speak. Instead, he threw the teacup that was raised above his head onto the ground. Pipa, the crisp sound of fragmentation echoed like thunder. It's not the sound of a teacup shattering, but the sound of dozens of teacups shattering. Everyone followed Ni Yongjun and threw the teacup that was lifted above his head onto the ground. Huang Ziqing, who was originally feeling guilty, was frightened by the sound and quickly took a few steps back. Sitting in the second police car, Lu Qichang quickly pushed open the car door and walked down, then ran to Huang Ziqing and pulled him back. As Lu Qichang retreated, he waved his hand to let the police officers retreat. The 2 proud police teams were frightened and fled in despair by Ni Yongjun's fall. After seeing the police car drive away, Ni Yongjun turned around with an evil smile and smiled at a long-haired bodyguard who had been with him for several years. With Ni Yongjun's smile, several of his subordinates pulled out sharp knives and charged forward, stabbing the long-haired bodyguard's chest several times in a row. Just stab this long-haired bodyguard to the ground. Subsequently, several subordinates lifted the body of the long-haired bodyguard and placed it in the trunk of the car, then closed the trunk, got on the car, and pulled it away. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers. Chapter 10. Poker Street, if you don't pay, then I won't pay either. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The next day, the Ni family paid for several days. Many clubs in Tsim Sha Tsui have stopped their activities and are waiting for the Ni family, one of the three major clubs, to pass through normally. If the four major families can make normal payments, then this day will be safe and sound. If the four major families do not pay taxes, then this day will be a disaster of blood. No one wants the Ni family's final madness to get themselves involved. You should know that this is the Ni family, one of the three major clubs in Tsim Sha Tsui. When you go crazy, there is still a lot of energy. You should know that every rotten boat has 3 caddies of nails, let alone the Ni family with such great energy. Keep an eye on Ni Yongjun, he will definitely go wild today. Huang Zicheng said seriously to his group of police officers. Subsequently, Huang Zicheng waved his hand, and his team of police officers ran and got into the police car and set out. Do you want to be so nervous? Lu Qichang walked over and stood next to Huang Zicheng, looking at his team's tense appearance in police. The fall yesterday showed how much fire Ni Yongjun had in his heart. Even if the four major families were involved, Ni Yongjun would still take action. Huang Zicheng turned around and looked at Lu Qichang seriously, saying after speaking, he walked over to the police car that had been waiting for a long time and sat there, then quickly rushed out. Keep up. Lu Qichang looked at Huang Zicheng's hurried car, and after thinking for a moment, he turned his head to his group of police officers and said later, he also got into the police car and followed. It was noon, and the rumors from the four major families still refused to hand over their numbers. Huang Zicheng and Lu Qichang, who received the wind, have been waiting outside the gate of Ni's villa for a long time. But Ni Yongjun remained calm and didn't go out after noon. At this moment, a car drove over and stopped on the roadside. Han Chen and his 2 subordinates got off the car and walked all the way to the Ni family villa. 2 subordinates stopped at the entrance of the Ni family villa, and Han Chen walked into the Ni family villa alone. De Xiao, give me an hour. I have arranged for Guohua, Gandhi, Wenjing, and Blackie to have hot pot together. I will appear later and ask Gandhi to persuade the 3 of them to pay the bill. As soon as Han Chen walked into the living room, he buried a smile and said to Ni Yongjun, who was sitting at the table eating lunch. Sit down, eat first. Ni Yongjun saw Han Chen say this, and he replied ambiguously. Then he summoned a servant to bring dishes and let Han Chen have lunch together. Okay, big or small? After Han Chen returned with a smile on his face, he sat down to have lunch with Ni Yongjun. On the other side, Gandhi opened a hot pot restaurant. Black Ghost, Guohua, and Wenjing walked in one after another and sat down silently to eat hot pot. They were eating while observing the facial expressions of others through the hot smoke of hot pot. Halfway through the meal, the youngest Wenjing stopped using his chopsticks and glanced at the nigger, Guohua, and Gandhi before speaking. I'm the youngest here, let me start with the ugly words. I won't hand over this number from the Ni family. What do you guys think? After Wenjing finished speaking, he became much more relaxed, so he ignored how others reacted and picked up his chopsticks to eat. The Black Ghost looked at Wenjing with a proud smile, then turned his head and looked at how Gandhi reacted. Not only did the nigger look at Gandhi, but the foremost powerful Guohua also turned his head to look at Gandhi. Why are everyone looking at Gandhi? Because Gandhi is the oldest and has the best relationship with Han Chen. They all want to know what kind of attitude Han Chen has. Han Chen has already submitted the numbers. Gandhi saw Guohua, the most powerful country, and the second largest black ghost also looking at him. He put down his chopsticks and said with concern. Even if you compare numbers with Han Chen, it's still a ratio of 3-2. I'm the youngest, let me make a statement first. I can't eat this hot pot anymore, let's go first. Before waiting for Guohua, the black ghost spoke and Yongjun threw his chopsticks and stood up to say to Gandhi. After he finished speaking, he turned around and left. Yongjun's departure made Gandhi, who was already hesitant, even more hesitant. He also put down his chopsticks and saw Guohua, the black devils, and the others. I have an accident at the Aman gambling hall, I'll leave first. The most powerful Guohua gently put down his chopsticks, picked up a fish egg with his hand, and said while eating. After speaking, he also left. The black ghost looked at the figure of Guohua leaving, until he couldn't see it. He turned around and looked at Gandhi with black-framed glasses. His right hand caressed Gandhi's back and said to Gandhi. I don't want to pay you, and neither do you. After the black ghost threatened to finish speaking, he stood up and gave Gandhi a mocking look before turning around and leaving. After a long time, Gandhi suddenly picked up his chopsticks and threw them, shouting loudly. Park Street, if you don't pay, then I won't pay either. Later, he stood up and kicked down the dining table to boost his courage. When he saw his younger brother running in, he pretended to be arrogant and left. 1 hour later, Ni Yongjun's tiger head rushed to the roadside of Gandhi's hot pot restaurant. As soon as the car stopped, Han Chen opened the car door and walked down, then walked all the way into the Gandhi hot pot restaurant. But as soon as he walked in, he saw a scene of remnants of hot pot on the ground. He was stunned. After a while, Han Chen walked out of the hot pot restaurant, opened the car door of Hu Tu Ben's passenger seat, and sat up silently. Let's go, be wild. Ni Yongjun instructed the driver expressionlessly. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please urge for a change ticket. Looking for book reviews. Kneeling down for the support of all the readers.